remember what this spell does.
Okay. There we go. So
Right.
we are all set up and we are going to pick up where we left off, which was the entrance hall of a abandoned, what appears to be a military slash science facility, is kind of the vibe that y'all have been able to get from just, immediately walking in to get out of a hellish blizzard. Being led here by A.E.O.N 3, the strange robot y'all accidentally activated on the mountain path as you staggered along. Um, you were just introduced to Helix, who is the AI who manages the facility, and Monica, the defense AI subroutine, who politely but firmly told you to behave yourselves or she would make sure that you were no longer with us.
Is that a challenge?
It can be. Um,
You know how suicidal my characters get.
and Aeon, you specifically noticed two odd things when you came in. Uh, One was that both of them aren't quite acting the way you remember them to. And the other one was you were promoted to director the moment you entered the facility. With them
Yeah.
claiming that you were the um, highest ranking surviving member available.
Ominous.
I do remember that, yeah.
We're all gonna die!
So the doors have been barred due to the storm, and you're in here with a strange robot and stranger AI
And a
who
lot of
have
information.
offered to give you a tour of the facility now that you have been granted temporary uh, access to the facilities.
Hmm.
Alright. Well, let's do some investigating, I reckon. Since the AIs don't seem to be acting how I remember them, I'd like to try finding a terminal of some kind to see if I can access a database.
Yeah. So the entrance hall connects into a security checkpoint that has a um, terminal, and then additionally, Hangar Bay Alpha is kind of off to the side, which does technically open up to the mountain, like up into the air in the mountain, but that's a good 1,000-foot drop. Um, so not really a viable way to just nope the hell out. Um, unless you had some sort of vehicle to um, leave via flight.
Yeah. I reckon let's do the security checkpoint and we'll access the terminal there.
Okay. Are you looking for something in particular?
Mainly just going off of the other thing of me getting made director because I'm the highest ranking person left. I'd mainly like to see like logs and or if available maybe security camera footage.
Okay, so being director, of course, you have, um, I believe I titled it Omega Level Access. You have access
Yes.
to virtually every security cam and every log in the place. Um, so, is this just a general kind of try to figure out has been going on, or are
Yeah, that's
because
basically it.
I've got a lot of security logs here.
I do. I am fully aware. I mean, yeah, kinda. Figure out what happened while I was out.
Okay, let me. I want you to roll me a investigation.
Investigation. That's the one intelligence thing I didn't take proficiency in. How could you?
Because I'm a monster.
Eat cats.
I'm a monster. Ruh.
Alright, come on, green dice, don't fail me now. And you rolled off the table, you dingus. And you did it a second time.
We'll stop rolling it off the table.
And is anyone else going like and following uh A.E.O.N 3 to this terminal?
Mm,
I mean, we're not going to learn anything else sticking by the doors that are barred shut.
yeah,
Yeah, I guess I'll follow.
or at the
That
very least,
is.
just like following to get a lay of the land and other information that we could maybe look into. I guess.
Yeah, I definitely would like to just like look around and try and see if I can find anything uh, more out of the ordinary than the everything else around it.
That is a 14, by the way.
Okay. Um so I'm about to hit you with a list of several entries you found directly related to you in particular.
Oh, fun.
And for those who don't feel like reading these, all of these from the bits you can read, because it seems like a lot of these files are corrupted out. or missing information and information being redacted. You're seeing things related to A.E.O.N 3 that are talking about how people around A.E.O.N 3 have had dangerous shifts in biological and psychological states. You see references to containment breaches of A.E.O.N 3. You're seeing personnel have gone missing. Efforts to suppress A.E.O.N 3 have failed. A.E.O.N 3's evolution continues at an accelerated rate. Recommendations to immediately quarantine all personnel who have been exposed to A.E.O.N 3. And a final report that says that A.E.O.N 3's rapid escalation has reached a critical threshold. As of this report, all personnel within a redacted mile radius of A.E.O.N 3 have been compromised. Attempts to initiate shutdown protocols have been unsuccessful, and the rest of that file has been corrupted out. And then a warning pops up stating all personnel are advised to evacuate immediately. A.E.O.N 3 is no longer confined to designated testing area. The threat is no longer controllable. Error redacted.
What the hell did your people do?
And you see Helix pop up and hologram form. You know, I've heard things about Googling yourself, but you probably shouldn't do that, Director. You might not like what you find.
What happened?
You don't remember. Interesting.
Do not recall.
You see like a little holographic clipboard as he's jotting this down. That's an update. Let's just say, and you see him like a flicker for a minute as like Monica appears, and it's like she like physically booted him out of the way. Oh, I'll tell you exactly what happened. During your testing, you broke containment, leaving us to clean up the mess. Thanks for that. Do you know how hard it is to get blood out of these floors when nobody wants to be on janitorial duty? Do you know how many times I had to reprogram the defensive machinery because of the alterations that you caused?
I know not of these changes you speak.
Well, let's just hope that history doesn't repeat itself.
Brianna's in the back getting a twitch in her eye because she's a little out of her depth here as a frickin' forest hermit.
Yeah, little jumping theme for you. Huh?
Yeah, she is desperately trying to get Afana's attention, just being like,
It's like, can we kill this guy?
Like Ball also has that similar look of confusion. I mean, he's used to quite a bit of the technology, but it's just like, I don't deal with it. Just fight the shit.
Yeah, you're used to a good bit, but this is, well, you haven't got to the really high end stuff they were working with. This is still fairly. This would have been fairly advanced computers several years ago, but it looks like it hasn't seen use in a long time. Like, these things were like dust covered.
All I'm hearing is these things can be broken. And I am itching to break some shit.
Yeah, see how well that
But
goes for
But
you.
that's one option. Yeah, sure. Um, is there like maybe a book or like in the terminal, like through what Ball could access, just like general information, like on the A.E.O.N program, like what it was, or
Um, so there are certain logs involving what it is. Are you personally going to try and do it, or are you going to try and get him to? Uh, the reason I ask is because you'll get a very different result depending on who touches the stuff.
I think Ball's just going to try and do it himself.
Or alternatively, you could ask Helix or Monica.
Let's just ask Helix and Monica, and let's see how that goes first. So, like, as they've had that, like, little conversation, Ball's just gonna go, so I don't mean to be dense here, but what is this Project A.E.O.N that you all keep talking about?
Project A.E.O.N was designed to push the limits of science, magic, and technology, originally in order to help preserve the life of the Knox family, but later on pushed to other endeavors, such as mastering time, space, and pushing every boundary possible. And Monica chimes in. And some boundaries that weren't supposed to be crossed. Oh, Monica, you're such a spoiled sport. If the boundary wasn't there, then how are we supposed to push it? That's how real science is made.
This is why you never leave wizards to their devices.
Eh, that's funny. You think this was wizards? One man's magic is another man's science.
They're one and the same.
Well, to some people. Once you truly understand the concepts behind it, it all starts to separate out a little bit. If you've ever seen the weave up close, you would agree with me. Anyway, shall we get back to the tour? Either Monica or myself, or both of us, if you like a 2-for-1 special deal, can give you a tour.
Guess we really have nothing better to do until this storm passes.
Yeah, I can't speak from personal experience on how cold they are, but as y'all would say, it's a blistery one out there. And they kind of solidify their where it was like a half hologram form into like a full body hologram, so they can like walk next to you.
When they do that, I'm just kind of gonna jump behind Ofana and put my bear hood up and just try to make myself as tiny as possible. I'm seriously sitting here thinking she's been in the woods for 40 years. And she wasn't exactly hip with technology, being a forest hermit before that.
No need to. Well, I won't say no need to be afraid, but I mean you no harm. You see, Helix is just having too much fucking fun with it.
Like, I think with that ball starts laughing.
As long as you don't poke the wrong bear, you should be good. Or do poke the bear, I don't care.
No,
I'm
don't poke
always
me.
here for a little controlled chaos.
Do not poke me.
Not big on turns of phrase, are you? I'll have to make a mental note of that one. You see it like regenerate that keyboard, like that notepad. It's like,
I'm
be
probably having a
blunt
little more
with the
fun with the
bear.
5 charisma. I'm having more fun with the 5 charisma than I should be.
It's amazing how fun low stat characters can be if they're played right.
Oh, yes.
Agreed.
So you've already been introduced to our entrance hall, and our hangar bay over there, which is unfortunately out of commission thanks to the director. And of course, here is our security checkpoint. Not that we had to use it too much, as up here in the mountains we wouldn't get very many visitors. To our right here in the central structure is the observation spire. This will, let me find my notes.
While you're looking for that, while we're walking, I just kind of put my hands on Ball and Brianna's shoulders and say, call it a hunch, but I think we'll need this. And I cast 3rd level aid on the 3 of us. So for the next 8 hours, your max hit points are increased by 10.
Ooh, okay.
And as you go out onto this large central structure of an observation deck, and you see like just row upon row going down deep into the mountains that this spire's kind of overlooking on this deck. hear Monica chime in. The observation deck was used to monitor experiments across the facility. It offers a strategic view, but please don't linger too long. If something goes wrong in the facility, it could become a death trap, so make sure to keep an escape route in mind. Then Helix is like, what are you talking about? It's a lovely spot. Great view of all that chaos unfolding, and it's mostly safe. I mean, as long as the glass holds, and as long as whatever's being observed doesn't start observing back, but, don't worry about it.
To hear the sound of it, there's not anything left to observe.
You'd be surprised. Trust me, I've got to show you some great stuff later. It's going to be like highlight of the tour. And you see, he just like makes like this weird like sparkle rainbow thing with his hands.
Imagine it.
Quite literally. Um, Over here we do have elevator shaft A, which we can take down to another floor for our tour once you are done with the observation deck. The only other thing of note on the observation deck is you see alongside the glass panels protecting everything. Um, you do see there's some control panels up there, and a couple semi-outdated screens to be able to pull up different cells and test experiments, stuff like that.
All right. Well, is it possible to take a look into those screens? See if we can't find some information on possibly some of the still living things here?
I mean, by all means, you could, or I could personally take you down to see him myself.
That does not sound super enjoyable.
No, don't worry, they're in stasis.
That concerns me more.
Well, I didn't expect you to be a coward, but sure enough, you should have the clearance to pull up the biogenesis lab, no problem. Or any of the containment chambers. So you're able to pop open the computer monitor feed, and you see it's kind of one of those where it has like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it goes into the little sub areas.
Yeah.
So the first one you see is one surface level observation and administration, 2 research and development, 3 arcane studies, 4 containment and experimentation, 5 core operations, and then depending on which one you want to open up, you'll also have access to view the cameras for the hallways or the different rooms on each one.
Gotcha.
So I'll just let you pick one, and I'll list off what's there and what you can see from it.
Let's just check the first one, the surface level.
So surface level, you see entrance hall, security checkpoint, observation spire, hangar bay alpha, administration offices, elevator shaft A.
All right. Then on 2.
Research and development contains cameras for the automation foundry, quantum forge, the echo chamber, the central hall, the A.E.O.N weapons lab, and elevator shaft B.
What about number 3?
Arcane Studies will have cameras for the Chrono Arcanum Archive, Arcane Convergence Lab, Void Nexus, Necrotic Sanctum, if I could speak, and the Planar Containment Field.
All right. I believe my interest has been satiated. Let's head on down, I reckon.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Same.
I assume y'all were like looking over my shoulder or something, so I assumed y'all kind of saw it.
Yeah, I'm.
Unless you're trying to hide it from us,
In,
then yeah.
No, I'm not actively attempting to.
unless he specifically states he's trying to like hide something, I'm just going to assume y'all can see it on like an overhead monitor. Uh, so y'all are going down elevator shaft A.
Yeah.
By the way, just a heads up, this place is built like a friggin' hospital where you have to take elevators and then go find the next elevator. It's that level
Um,
of annoying BS.
Great.
Probably to keep something from escaping by just hitting the one button and getting from the bottom floor to the top floor. Sucks if you're late for a meeting, though. So, this one will uh, open up, and you are in like a central hub area that kind of looks. Ow! Sorry, electricity.
you're good.
Kind of like spokes on a wheel, and then like this big main plaza that if somebody had been around to maintain the plants and stuff, it would look actually fairly nice. But have any of y'all played Control?
Like the game type?
No.
As in the game Control, not the game type.
No.
Well, you're missing out, and you really should play it. It's a wonderful, wonderful game.
I think I watched you play a little bit of it.
So think very, very government corporate looking plaza,
Gotcha.
and that'll get you right in the ballpark of what this central hall looks like. Um, it looks like, they had a very simplistic cafeteria. This isn't the type of place that had like full blown food court. It was just today's meal is, beef nuggets and nacho cheese. Ironically, I use that example because Sydney's sister like told us what their cafeteria's weekly menu was, and that one stood out to me because it just seemed weird.
Yeah, that seems about right for
I sadly miss those teriyaki beef nuggets sometimes.
It
Oh yeah,
wasn't
dude.
even that. It was like I don't know if it was beef nuggets or corn nuggets or something, and nacho cheese, and I'm like, why would you pair those together? But you see kind of fading lettering above different doors, basically on these little spokes. Automation Foundry, Quantum Forge, Echo Chamber, and Restricted.
I'd like to kinda take a glance into the God, if my brain wants to work. The automation foundry.
Okay. So, going in here, um, the first thing y'all notice is hanging bodies.
Jesus Christ,
Whoa.
okay.
Boy,
Or at
okay.
least that's what y'all thought they were upon initial entrance. Once your eyes adjusted to the light, you realize that these are just robotic um trying to think of the right word. Carapaces?
Mannequins? Ah, gotcha.
Gotcha.
Oh, so these are the chassis.
Yeah, chassis. Thank you. God, I had the C, but I could not. And you notice Bloodsport has been really quiet this entire time.
Oh,
And he looks very nervous in this room.
old sport, you good? I've never seen you like this before. I know you're not mine anymore, but
There's been much death here. What are you talking about? This is a place of life. We give birth to the best and brightest bots out there. Well, I mean, you probably wouldn't know because you're made by a subpar manufacturer, but I'm not going to hold that pat against you.
you know who made Bloodsport?
Well, I mean, if you had ever gone to actually check his wiring, that's clearly Vandros's work, and that spiffy new body looks more like. Hang on, let me see what I put for his actual name. Ba-ba-ba. This is what I get for prepping like months ago. And that spiffy new body looks like some Forge Right Collective work. Don't know why they added the bees. But wait, no, those aren't bees. That's a wow. That's a flesh-eating hornet. That's cool.
Yeah, the Hornets predated the armor.
Well, I mean, gotta leave some kind of mark and identity, so I can't fault him on that. Doesn't seem like Vandross' style, though. They were fairly bland with their Labyrinth Games work. They seemed to go with basic models that were easy to pump out and hard to break.
Wait, so you all designed the machines for the Labyrinth games?
Us? God, no. We wouldn't do anything so mundane. That's a Vandross Arcanium Foundry, one of our quote unquote competitors. Although we didn't want anything to do with the Empress or actually letting anyone know we were really here, so we just occasionally snuck in, broke their stuff, and stole their secrets. Don't tell anyone I told you that.
Well, the only ones that have infiltrated government at this point, so I guess you're safe there. But wow, this is all new to me. I mean, I knew they had to have been made somewhere, but so there are more of these research labs throughout then.
Monica pops up. There are currently two A.E.O.N facilities. This is Silver Facility, and then the other one is Everdeep Facility. We keep our containment protocols very stringent to ensure that those with unauthorized access are not able to spread our locations. The director has given you provisional access, so therefore we are allowed and required to give basic information on said facilities. Although,
Alright.
while in here, please be careful. The foundry isn't just a workshop, it's a factory for weapons. Every bolt, every circuit, it's all designed for war. If you start tinkering in here, you better be ready to face what comes out of it, because not everything that comes out of here will be under your control.
Sounds like a flaw in planning to me.
Well, when you're working with things as advanced as we are, sometimes a curveball can happen. That's why I'm here, to employ countermeasures. You see, this place is like filled to the brim. Like, imagine like a Ford manufacturing plant, but like for robots. Like, you have every tool you can imagine. You could basically, it's robot build a bear.
I'm
Egads.
here for it.
Is the way to put it. This is when I told you that I was afraid of giving you things in this, there were 2 locations in here that gave me great concern, and this was one of them. Because this foundry will let you assemble constructs of all shapes and sizes. Everything from scouts to guardians, warriors. You can
Everything
basically.
required to build an army.
Exactly.
I'll look over at Obama and he says that and Ball just kind of bites his thumb. Can't recruit them. Good build.
Is his mic messing up for anybody else, or
Yeah,
is it just
Probably.
me?
Yeah.
you glitched out on us for a minute.
Better?
Yep, much better.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess I should go back and ask, were you saying that in character, Morgan?
Yes.
Okay, when you say that, Ball just stops and looks over and kind of bites his thumb and just nods his head and is like, if we can't recruit them, we can't always build them. Less casualties that way.
And when you build them, a lot easier to recoup losses after the fact.
Easier to recoup losses and less chance of rebellion.
Well, with some exceptions. Isn't that right, Director?
I guess.
Oh, come on. You know that they just played with his wiring a little bit too much. I mean, that program was doomed from the start, right? Well, one would think. And you see when she makes that one would think comment, she actually flickers in appearance. And where you were seeing what Monica normally looks like for like maybe 10 seconds. You see her look like this. before flickering back.
Great.
Huh. And also, you motherfucker. Monica?
I knew exactly what I was doing. I'm assuming you caught the joke.
Once I saw the art, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, that doesn't give me good feelings.
We're all gonna fucking die.
Only difference is this Monica has a gun.
Well, look, the last Monica just needed some literature books.
Right? Well, apparently the literature books weren't good enough for her.
We had to upgrade.
And you can see like on the walls there's like a couple blueprints, like, you know, magnet stuck on, and tools left out, which is probably like just tearing your little blacksmith brain apart. Um,
Yeah.
but it looks very much like this got abandoned very quickly.
So Asball's just looking around. He's just gonna go. So, why'd everyone have to leave so quickly? This doesn't exactly look like they were, moving. This looks more like a mass emergency evacuation.
You see, Monica looks genuinely confused. According to my records, the only person here was the director.
Who has no memory of what happened? Well, that helps us. But anyways, I guess on with more of the tour so we can see what we're working with.
Works for me. Maybe I can show you some even better stuff than just old nuts and bolts here. So back to the layout. So the other bits of the spool are the central, or from the central hub, are the quantum forge, the echo chamber, and one that you see like over the marked over the thing. It just says restricted over like the door to it, and you see above it weapons lab.
Hmm. As we're walking by, Ball's just going to go, a weapons lab. Now, that's something I could work with.
I wouldn't recommend it. Access has been restricted for all entities per director order. All weapon systems inside are automated. I could try to shut them off, but no guarantees that I will be able to get through to them in time for your survival.
Okay. Hmm.
You can, by all means, still go in, but you would basically be trying to survive against the turrets while Monica tries to override the automated defenses.
That does not sound fun.
Yeah, that sounds like I realistically probably would die, but you know.
Yeah, you can tank through it. You're fine.
Quick, hide behind the wall of dead bards.
Who's this old ancient one at the bottom?
My name is Jeff.
Let's
Yeah, we'll keep
check
on
out.
moving.
Let's check out that quantum forge.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
So, Ball, you're familiar with spell forges
Hmm.
and how they work. But this, by far, takes your breath away by how much more advanced and just like high end psychopath level spell forge to the max level stuff, the quantum forge, where most spell forges are working. Actually, I'll let Monica explain it. The Quantum Forge was built upon the idea of a spell forge, but where they work with simple elements such as air, wind, water. We work with time and space. Helios pops in. And gravity. Don't forget gravity. Well, that one didn't work out great, so maybe not. I don't know if they ever put a ban on it, so. Anyway, the Quantum Forge is meant to take the universal fabric of reality and weaponize it in the hands of those who are capable enough to wield it.
This is impressive. I mean, I grew up in the forges, and
This is the kind of thing that, like, if they had given you an unlimited budget as a blacksmith,
this
you
is
would
what you would build.
you wouldn't have even comprehended building something like this. Like, this is taking weaponry to next gen level.
I was just going to be like, can you show me how it works?
Well, certainly, we can pull up the information that we currently still have on record after the tour is finished. Although do proceed with caution because stranger things can happen when working with a quantum forge than with a standard one. You might not just lose a finger, you might end up with 6.
And find some uses for an extra finger.
Well, that was maybe an under exaggeration, but you catch my drift. Oh, just let him play with the toy, Monica. It'll be nice to actually have something going on around here. No, I don't know why you've gotten so lax with your safety protocols lately. It's honestly quite concerning. You hear Helix kind of whispering in your ear. I went ahead and I gave you access to use Quantum Forge protocols whenever you need it.
You may just have become my favorite person.
That's why I'm here. And y'all have noticed, like, Helix is a really chaotic seeming AI. Like, he's just giving, like, Chaos Gremlin vibes this entire thing. And this is the one who introduced himself as the one who's supposed to be in charge of, like, maintaining and running the place. No. Actually, let me go ahead and, I'll post that photo of Helix again because I know it probably got lost in the thing. So you just let that strange man give you access to weapons.
You give me
That's not
access to
concerning at
weapons, I
all.
don't care who he is. I'm gonna have some fun later.
So, y'all lingering around the Quantum Forge, or are y'all continuing with Le Tour?
Let's continue on, I reckon.
Okay. So there are there's basically 3 things you haven't explored in here on this floor. There is, of course, the weapons testing lab. There is the echo chamber. and there is elevator shaft B.
Let's check out the echo chamber, I reckon. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, weapons testing chamber seems pretty straightforward, and I'll make my way in there later.
So yeah. You guys continue on with the tour. I gotta use the bathroom. Later on, we just hear Ball like, "Yeah, this is so cool."
So, I take it you are going into the echo chamber?
Yeah. Also, real quick, I have not heard bow tie in a minute.
Oopsie daisy.
Oh, no, you did.
Did you accidentally mute?
I'm good. Just drop my vape.
Oh, okay.
So, after you enter the echo chamber, you see Helix kind of float in front of y'all, and like he just pops up text with his hands. You guys are like, he's not speaking out loud, he just has the text. You guys are going to love this place, especially for magic users. Everything gets amped up to the max in here. Just a heads up if you want to try it out. It can be a little jarring, but go ahead, give that baby a shot. And then Monica like pops up and is like, "Don't tell them that." And you
No, I
notice
like what
they
he
have
said.
not said a word. It's all in text. Just throwing at one another.
Oh God,
That's not concerning at all.
do they normally talk like this?
I don't
The,
know.
oh, is this you asking them? Or like asking A.E.O.N?
Asking A.E.O.N.
I'm saying here, do they talk like this normally? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And it just keeps reverbing across this chamber.
You see the realization come over Ball's face of echo chamber, and he's like, "Oh,"
Oh, oh,
and he's
oh,
gonna let out
oh.
this loud guttural yell, and he's gonna rage.
You know
That's the
what?
only magic I got.
You know what? I respect it.
I need everyone to make a con saving throw.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
May God save our souls.
Something tells me he's already checked out for the night.
Son of a bitch, he has.
I roll a 1.
Fuck, so did I.
Oh no!
That's a 7.
God damn it, God has left the server.
Look, my
So,
dumps are in wisdom, so
Ball, you're in the clear. Ofana, you take 9 thunder damage.
Okay.
And Ofana and Brianna pass out on the floor. from just the sheer noise of this yell and this echo, like reverbing back down. It just concusses the shit out of them so hard that they just immediately drop. I can't believe both of y'all rolled ones on it.
We're all gonna die.
Oh,
And as the
shit.
moment that Brianna drops, Elder, who's still, as far as I'm aware, a giant dog, just kind of stands over her.
Oh, I need Elder to roll a con save too.
That's a 14 without modifiers. I don't know what modifiers to use off the top of my head.
If it's 14 without mods, then as long as it had a +1, it would have been good. So, alright. Yes, it was a DC 15 to not take damage from Ball's Yell.
Ooh.
So then with that, watching them fall, Ball's gonna be like, oh, shit. So look
For the
back
record, I
at,
checked the stat block. And it is +1. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Hey,
You're good.
you're all good. It's something we need to know for like future use. And seeing the two people passed out on the ground, you see Helix flicker and shift form. And you see text appear. Please evacuate the facility, or please evacuate the echo room. Those who are unable, please assist in removal.
Let's see, it was Brianna and A.E.O.N that went unconscious?
Yeah,
I guess I'm grabbing A.E.O.N.
they just full on immediately dropped.
Because I assume they're the heaviest, so. Then I guess Afana drags Brianna.
No, I'm unconscious.
Oh,
No, you just took damage.
Oh, I thought you said I fell unconscious too.
No,
I thought you did as well. I could have swore you said Ofana.
no, I said Ofana took 9 damage. Ofana took 9 thunder damage. Y'all only went you two only went unconscious because you crit failed.
Ah.
that's what I thought.
Then yeah, I'll try to help drag whoever the hell out I can.
Funny thing is, Elder's smart enough that I think he was smart enough to make the connection between the yell and Brianna dropping. I'm not sure he would have let Ball come get her.
I'll get Brianna.
It's going to take you a second to get the dog off from standing over her, but I think he'd let you.
Oh,
And I'm already dragging A.E.O.N.
make me a
back out of the room.
perception. Are you like picking Aeon up and like slinging over shoulder or just dragging along the floor?
Uh, just dragging along the floor.
Okay. Make me a perception check.
Mm, 16.
Okay. So as you grab A.E.O.N, presumably by the wrists, to drag them along, you feel what you thought at first was their pulse, but it seems odd. Like
Mhm.
almost in a perfect rhythm.
Hmm.
I'm actually shocked I was able to make that noise so well.
A little concerning, but I mean, hey, useful skill, I reckon.
Right? Guess it comes from being part cyborg myself.
So, first question: are we still in the echo chamber when I notice this?
um, no, you would. I'm assuming y'all would have done the yell right out the door.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Okay. Is Aeon still unconscious?
It takes them a minute to come around. Um, but they come around pretty quickly.
Right. Hmm.
So
Okay.
that sucked.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I didn't expect that to happen. I know they said it would amplify things, but my God. I mean, that was cool as shit, but my
He
bad.
Helix appears like the flickered form that I just showed y'all. I'm terribly sorry about the inconvenience caused. I should have properly warned you about consequences of noise in the echo chamber before allowing access inside. I will not allow such a grievous misstep to happen again.
Look, for our group, that's par for the course. There's always one of us that's not patient enough to ask before we just do something.
It was a failure of my safety protocols, and therefore a failure upon A.E.O.N as a whole. Monica appears. There's the helix that I need to know. Don't know what's gotten into you lately, but I suggest that we keep things professional.
Alright. Well, I reckon let's head to elevator B. Keep heading
Yeah,
down.
because that's next.
Yes, so anyway, onward with the tour. Floor 3 contains our arcane studies departments, which specialized in planar energy and our time anomaly studies. Additionally, you may find our archives and our testing area for our necromantic experiments.
Sorry, what was that last part?
Our area for our necromantic experiments, the necrotic sanctum.
Oh, I did hear you correctly. Okay then.
Due to the issues with the various areas through here, we do have to be a little more careful because several planar rifts can occur. So please beware on where you step. Um, and y'all step out into a library. Um, but the weird thing is, like, it looks like books are like appearing and disappearing. The archive contains books from all moments in time. Unfortunately, this can be a little problematic for looking ahead because the future is always shifting, so our future tomes may very well shift and or disappear on you due to varying probabilities. And up ahead, and she kind of, you see Helix is swapped from kind of a male looking one to a more female, feminine looking one when that flicker happened. And up ahead is our Arcane Convergence Lab, where most of the research on our merging of planar energies takes place. And you see, like, you walk through this, like, glass paned lab where you see they have little generators on both sides with input controls. And you see it flicker back to the male one again. Have you ever seen what happens if you throw the plane of fire and the plane of water together? It's the coolest thing ever. Just instant sauna.
I can't say I have, but this talks about different planes definitely begs some questions from myself. Just from personal experiences, not anything here specifically.
Oh, you must be talking about that nasty little touch of radiant poisoning you had going on. I clocked that the moment you walked in. That's a something Soma is going to love to check out on you.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Just a heads up, if you really want to make her happy, just give her a DNA sample. Y'all be besties.
I hope you just mean a mouse swap.
I don't know, I never stay around to figure out all the nitty gritty details down in that lab. Soma is very territorial of the biogenesis lab, so I tend to stay out. That place shouldn't exist. And you see, like, Monica looks pissed at even the existence of it.
Soma?
Oh, yes, Soma, the head program of the biogenesis lab. They keep to themselves as long as we don't bother her, she doesn't bother us.
Sounds like this Soma might be someone we need to talk to.
I mean, if you'd like, I can fast track us right down there and get that meet and greet started. Trust me, she's got the coolest stuff down there. You'll love it. She just doesn't like me touching her toys, so after the introductions, I may hide off for a little bit.
Well, I mean, I'm fine with continuing the tour and just taking care of that when it comes up, but unless everyone else just wants to go do that, I'm fine with that too.
Well, trust me, we'll get there soon enough. And kind of flickers to the next door. For over here, we've got the Void Nexus. This is kind of our hub of this, that, and everything planar. And when you walk into this room, it is just planar rift after planar rift of varying colors and stability. You see some of these are flickering and acting weird. Some look very stable and open, and like you can see into other planes. The cool thing about this is if one gets too out of control, we can actually take it over to the planar containment field and, get it somewhere it's a little less out of whack. And that way people don't wander through it. Not that that's ever happened before. Wink, wink. Then, of course, we've got our elevator down. That's elevator shaft C. I really wish they would have just numbered them instead of all these letters. But you got that there, and then we have the necrotic sanctum that they were talking about right over here, and you like see like a set of double doors, like with just that catacomby looking skull that you just assume is like just the evil dark necrotic area. They went full aesthetic for that area. And then the planar containment field is like 45 degrees off from it, shooting into another area. And that place is so heavily warded, you can literally see the magic wards like shimmering. But the wards are showing some heavy signs of degradation. It looks like the wards haven't been maintained in a long time.
I think we can solidly guess why everything went to hell.
Yeah, it's starting to make more sense.
Yeah. Go for a sneeze. See, you would think that, but shockingly, very little issues with the planar stuff. I mean, occasional thing would pop out, but Monica would put a bullet in it super quick and we wouldn't have to worry, and we got new test samples, but that was very far and few in between. And we had who did we have on? Anyway, like he looks like he genuinely forgot who was in charge of like planar containment, but he doesn't focus on it too long. He's just moving on to the next thing.
Okay.
So, if y'all want, y'all can check out the Necrotic Sanctum, or you can check out Elevator Shaft C and go down a floor, or you can investigate the Void Nexus where y'all are at, which is kind of the central hub of this floor, and check out some of the portals.
Mm,
I think the necropolis would be the move here. Make sure nothing's going to sneak up behind us from the inside.
I'm inclined to agree with you there. And also, not something you get to see every day.
So, you open up these comically large double doors. And it looks like a just big circular room of gray marble floor and All the walls around it are like a morgue with the drawers where they store the bodies. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then, except for the instead of just the like steel, you see like a thick like plexiglass, so you can actually see what drawers you're pulling out. And you see skeletons, different bodies in different states of decay, different bodies of different animals, all in some form of stasis. Monica pops up. If you have any ethical concerns, all of these were uh, sourced with permission, or in the case of the animals, uh, responsibly hunted. All are in stasis, so don't worry about any escaping. And you see her
Yes, it's
flicker
telling
back to
me.
that gray again. And if they do try to get out, I'll end them. And then she flickers back.
Yes, forgive me for not taking you at your word.
I mean, if you like, I can pull up the waivers. And you see her just pull up this like long like data sheet that just starts scrolling. Their families were paid quite handsomely for their bodies after death. And I'm just going to make a perception check for. Oh, that's sad. I would have loved for have just been able to catch that. Um, Zach, make me a
Yes.
perception check.
And that's a 10.
You know what? I'll give you part of it. During the wave of like names and stuff on the files,
Mm-hmm.
a last name sticks out to you. Just as it's blurring by, almost so fast that you almost don't catch it. You see the last name Corinne on the list.
Oh, okay. Noted.
The Morgan is dead.
It's okay. He messaged me about it.
Gotcha.
He wasn't feeling so hot, so
Ah,
it's fine. Most of this is tour and or shenanigans that will come maybe
The
later.
this was the came up in the, was it the families
Uh,
paid?
this was signed waivers, like for the rights to the bodies, and she said that the families were paid handsomely.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Lelia did not see it. She only rolled a 6.
Okay.
Boo.
But for
Paul's
in
keeping that in his pocket for right now.
yeah, might be a little something for later. Um,
Hmm.
as for those who wish to practice with any ideas of a necromantic exploit, or I know some of our more expeditious and intriguing scientists did at one point enjoy trying to see what would happen if you tried to rearrange skeletons and bring it together as a whole, or any other thought that might cross your mind. This would be the testing ground for it. Then Helix is just like, well, I personally think they still should have gone with that idea where they were going to just take a bunch of them and smush them together and see what happened. But no, no one listens to me. That
Physically uncapable.
experiment would be too much of a risk. I already ran the simulations for you 30 times. It will not end well. Any other questions or concerns about this unholy place that's like the temperature of a refrigerator?
I don't
Not for right
think
now.
so.
No, she just wants to be gone.
Oh, I bet Brianna definitely wants to be gone. That place is probably giving you definite bad vibes.
That's one way to put it.
Bad Vibe Central.
Me no likey necromancy.
I bet.
Man, it'd be a shame if someone casted a necromancy spell right now.
It's too bad I didn't kill Strawlin when I had the chance.
Well, I reckon let's move on.
So, let me find the right one. So, as you go down the elevator, um, you see even that chaotic form of Helix gets a little more serious. The containment wing. They locked away things too dangerous, too unstable to release. But then again, isn't everything unstable if you push it hard enough? Just don't don't open the third cell on the left. Trust me, no one would survive it. Not even you. And the elevator doors like hiss open and you see a hallway of just these like steel vault doors with little data pads underneath them with names and information on the data pads.
Sounds like Laura O'Clock. Let's do some reading.
And just let me know if there are any that you try to peek at along the way down this hallway, because I've got several. Like whether or not you look in the window of these, like, because it's like a steel vault door with like a little porthole so they can, like, peek in and make sure it's still in stasis.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, are any of the doors like open or are they all closed?
They're all closed.
Gotcha. Let's like as we're walking down the hallway, uh Aeon's just kinda gonna glance at the terminals, uh like just seeing what's inside.
Okay. So you're just looking at the terminals, not through the portholes, correct?
Yeah.
So just offhand, what you see is Chimera of the Scaffold, Entity 012, the Hollow One, Voltosphere Prime, Aberrant Harvest, Hollow Wing, A.E.O.N 03. And when you see your name on that data pad, and as you get close to that door, you feel a little sick to your stomach.
Oh god. I reckon I like visibly kind of bring my hand up to my mouth and slowly approach the door with my name on it. and take a closer look inside.
You see a set of eyes looking back at you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Is it like my eyes? Or.
As it scratches into the glass. And then you hear a reverb through your body. And the scratches on the glass disappear. And you hear echoing in your head. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
Uh, I visibly, recoil back, holding my head for a second, kind of breathing heavy. And once it, fades out, I kind of focus back in.
And you want to know what the worst part of it is?
What?
To everybody else's view, you're just standing there, staring.
Oh.
Oh, no.
And you feel that deep, again, and your feet are planted back where they were in front of it. And you look and you see that there's nothing in front of the porthole. There's just something in a pod, unmoving.
I. What's in here? This has my name on it, but I'm here, not there. But there's something in there.
You feeling alright, Director? There's nothing in that cell. There's no indication of anything ever being in that cell.
I
And
do a double take and look back into it just to make sure I'm not tripping.
it's empty.
What the fuck? Something's very wrong here. I'm seeing things I shouldn't be.
Well, on the upside, we're going to the biogenesis lab, so Selma can maybe run a diagnostic on you, check you out, make sure that everything's good.
Sounds like two of us have a date then.
No. I want the three of y'all that are still here to roll. Roll me perception checks.
Do-
Also, hi, Robert.
13's not terrible.
Nat 20.
We all rolled over a 10.
That was a wonderful way to waste a nat 20.
I know, right?
So as you're going through, these have been like back and forth side by side going down the hall. As y'all walk past the third door on the left that he warned you about, you see on the door A.E.O.N 00, Melpomene, and you hear a faint violin ringing
Oh, you cheeky
in
fucker.
your ears. And because I have to reward a nat 20, I'll let you recognize the music. It is Moonlight Sonata being played on violin in reverse.
Why in reverse? What the fuck? That's unsettling. I'm like trying to imagine what that sounds like, and that just sounds so fucking weird.
I know, like, I I need to look it up because I just came up with it off the top of my head. And after this, I'm going to have to hunt it down to see if I can find it.
Oh, I already have
What?
YouTube open. I'm gonna do a quick thing.
Wait, you found it being played in reverse?
No, I'm looking it up because
Oh.
I have YouTube open already. So I'm gonna see if I can find it right quick. Oh God, I don't like how that sounds. Just like fucking Majora's Mask.
Wait, were you able to find it just on piano or on violin?
I can't tell what instrument this is. I'll be
Okay.
real.
Um, Tell you what, I'll just play it on. I think this is piano, but just imagine it violin.
Yeah,
Well, that's an ad. I'll wait for the ad to go away.
you got ads.
Well, I see you found the door. It probably wouldn't go any closer than that. Or maybe it wants you to come closer.
Is quite beautiful.
It's quite creepy.
The entire thing is an abomination. She, it, if you can still call it that, shouldn't exist. It's our greatest failure and our greatest achievement. The beginning of everything and the end. Everything started to save her, and instead, we were given a living nightmare. Be careful talking about her this close. It's kind of like a tuning fork with that much energy. And these two seem oblivious to the music.
Mm,
We probably shouldn't linger here, or else she'll start to mess with your minds. Whatever you do, don't listen to her. On that, we can agree.
Yeah, this music's creepy as hell. Let's get out of here.
What music?
You don't hear it?
No. Although, if you can hear anything, I suggest you tread very, very carefully.
mm, mm, mm. Idea. Where is that?
They open the uh, or the God, electricity sucks. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Um, up ahead of you, you see a set of thick double doors. Similar to like hospital doors, but more heavily reinforced. Um, and upon entering, you see um, just an array of equipment, kind of all in this large circuit around what looks like a large operating theater. Is the best way to describe this. And on the second floor of it are just rows and rows of what appear to be like growth pods, and manifesting at the surgical table at the center of this operating theater. You see this figure.
Not that figure.
And suddenly a holographic scalpel appears in her hand. I told y'all to leave me to my work. And then she kind of notices the other people that are there, notices y'all, and just kind of power strides over. It's like, wasn't ever expecting to see you again, A.E.O.N. You were an alright attempt. But you. And she, like, kind of just slides this little holographic scalpel down your chest ball. Are very interesting.
So I've been told. Hope maybe you've got some more answers about this, and maybe the plainer bullshit that's went on with it.
Oh, it's far more than that, my dear. Hope you don't mind if I get DNA samples?
Be my guest.
And, like, you just see a little drone, like, fly by and just, like, basically drive by neck pop everybody in the party.
Oh, fun.
It's like, I'll add those into the system. Thank you. And, let's see what we have here. And she's kind of just like walking around the theater as she goes, like looking at these new logs. Like A.E.O.N 3, human chronoreactive cell structure with accelerated synaptic processing, limited temporal displacement, all of that checks out. Cell degradation slower than expected for other prototypes. maybe there was some more potential with you after all. Over, it's like your name was like
Talking to
looking
me.
at Ball.
Uh, Ball.
Ball, let's see, DNA structure. Ooh, hybrid. Amethyst dragon and emerald dragon with enhanced draconic resilience, increased mana absorption, and adaptive ocular spectrum, radiant energy anomalies due to foreign divine signature. Ooh. Appears to be unstable effects but non-fatal, so we can live with that for now, although we may need to do some tweaking in the future. White then she's just swiping through. White Dragonborn, increased neural conductivity, bioluminescent feather growth, elongated spinal vertebrae, feathers with latent energy storage, exhibiting electrostatic discharge under stress, possible Quetzalcoatl lineage. Okay, that's Spiderfolk. You're a new one. Silk gland efficiency's been optimized. Multi-limb coordination, refinement. Venom toxicity altered for paralysis rather than necrosis. Webbing displays residual thaumaturgic properties. Possible arcane sensitivity to silk composition? Have to take a look at that. Goliath. Increased dermal density. Augmented muscle fiber response. Thermal resistant enhancements. Anomalies include muscle regrowth factor exceeding baseline expectations. Self-repair processes noted at cellular level, albeit inconsistently. So somebody's been hitting the healing spells a little too much. And she just dismisses the pad. These will all be very, very helpful. Thank you.
I have questions.
Well, I may have the answers you seek. Just don't
I
waste my time.
I cannot guarantee, depending on your ability to answer. I do not remember anything besides my name and blurs, and I am seeing and hearing things that apparently are not actually there.
Subject exhibits irregular memory fragmentation, likely due to prior exposure to temporal anomalies. The way that I built you was to handle time itself. The issues you're experiencing are likely due to the combination of cells we used not handling the output, and you're seeing into either possible past, future, or other presents. As for your memory loss, I can only assume that that's because of you being spread across so many timelines. I'm assuming that your brain couldn't handle it and decided to block the information itself and left you near memoryless. God, I can't speak. That was a hard word to say.
Yeah, good. Are you able to help at all?
I'm sure I could dredge
And
up your blueprint somehow, somewhere, and euthanize you, rebuild you, and hopefully your soul sticks in the new body.
that does that. I don't know how I feel about that one.
I mean, the offer's always open. I mean, the A.E.O.N project was very interesting, but we were only allowed to go up to 6. 5? Hmm. I'll have to check my records on that one. But I'd be happy to take a crack at it and see if we can't get you rebuilt a little better. And you see that not quite malevolent, but like that purely scientific kid with no restrictions.
Yeah, and the guy feel ya.
Anyways, if your memory's been fragmented, then I suppose I will have to re explain to you how you were born and how everything around here functions, won't I?
It would be of help.
Very well. The biogenesis lab is where I create the best and brightest of life. And Monica, like, pops in, it's like, more like where you play God. Monica, this is my domain, not yours. Shoo. And you see her just get, like, her entire hologram just kind of dissipates. And let me pull up the entire putting together thing because I had to actually write it down because this was the other part I was scared of y'all having access to because this one will let you build creatures.
Oh god. Got to be doing the monster mash.
quite literally. Here I am able to create biological resurrections, hybrid creations of my own design, preserve creatures if need be, or evolve them to their ideal states. The process itself is fairly simple, or at least to those who know how to do it. Let me. God, where is that? Okay. So that's. Oh, I know what I can search to find it. There we go. The process is quite easy, and you see, like, her go over, and she's integrated with this system enough that when she touches stuff, it actually, like, activates the buttons. It's as simple as designing or choosing our genetic blueprint, and you see her, like, swipe through, and, you see her, like, pick this orb-like creature. Now, if we want to just grab something straight from a living creature, if we happen to have one on hand, which would be nice, we can use the hemolytic or the hemocryptic injector, grab the DNA straight from the source, and do it that way. Or if we want to create an entirely new genetic sequence, we can use our Gene Weaver assembly core. And you see, she is just like blurring through this thing as this like assembly line of like stuff is going. Um, we add any DNA and elemental affinities that we choose for it. We move it over to our adaptive embryo chambers, set our growth parameters, increase our chronophasing incubation cycles to help develop our memories and instincts. And as long as the blueprint isn't flawed, which I know this one isn't, then it should be nice and stable, come out at full maturity. Before we let it out, we go to our enhancement and arcane integrations. Here we have our thaumaturgic bioreactors, our protein sequencers, our etheric neural forge, and here we go. Add our anima conduit to give it a soul, or did you not want this thing to have a soul? I probably should have asked that before I started. Well, we've already Gone too far in, might as well let it have one. And looks like everything's nice and stable, so we don't need to use our remolding vat. And here you go. And she is like a pod comes down and out rolls a tiny little metallic orb that kind of blinks up at y'all.
Interesting.
Neat.
This is a voltosphere, or energy mimics. I tuned down the hostility on this one even more than our standard model, so it kind of has more the intelligence of a pet dog than anything else, but it might work in a pinch if you have a power outage somewhere.
Noted.
Feel free to come to me if you need any help building something or yourselves. It seems like you've fallen in with a group of adventurers, so if anyone needs rebuilt into a better you, I'll be here.
Noted.
And let me see who this energy mimic. Yeah, Ball. This energy mimic rolls up and just kind of nuzzles into your leg.
No. Here we go again.
Now it's up to you if you want to keep it or not, but if you do, I can send you the stat sheet. Or you
Sure.
can tell it to F off.
Send me that stat sheet.
Also, real quick, she listed like all of our species and stuff, right?
Yeah.
A.E.O.N is gonna turn to the party and with a genuine kind of surprised look and be like, "I'm sorry, y'all have had a dragon traveling with y'all?"
Dude, Dragonborn, yeah.
No, I'm fairly certain she said dragon.
That is correct, dearie. Only one of y'all's a dragonborn. You see, she is sitting there, pulling up DNA sequences and separating out individual bits. Oh, did you not know?
There, there was some talk that my mother was an actual dragon, but I've never seen it, and I've always just been like this. I mean, other than he flips the torque and goes female male, but other than that,
She like just throws the whole your whole DNA genome up. Goes and like compares it to like Lelia's. This is what a Dragonborn's genome looks like. This is yours. Emerald, 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 amethyst, amethyst, emerald, emerald. That is all 100% pure dragon. And I will have a wonderful time with that sample. So thank you for your donation. Now, if I had to guess on why you have the form you do, I would hazard a guess that both of your parents were shapeshifted into a either human or dragonborn-ish form when they mated. And therefore, it didn't carry over the usual traits the way that they would normally present themselves. I'm sure with the right modifications we could get that to pop out if that's what you want, but I don't know. It seems like you might like it a little bit better being travel sized.
Definitely more inconspicuous, but it might be an option after some conversations. If I
Well,
could figure out how to control and shapeshift between, let's say there'll be some people that wouldn't see that coming.
well, just to let me know because I would have a blast getting a deeper look under the hood. And she's like just going in and individually like viewing individual like genetic markers and shit. She just like stops at one and she's like, by the way, try to lay off sweets. Just a heads up.
Dang.
Although if we have to rebuild you, I can probably take that little marker out. She is just like fully putting all your like health risks and shit on file in front of the entire party.
Talk about patient confidentiality.
Oh, are you talking about hippopotami? That doesn't exist here. Um, this is a black site, you know.
Well then. Uh, well, I guess that's some news for you. I'll be honest, I thought you were Dragonborn.
I always thought the same too, but well,
That'll be an interesting conversation for the folks back home, right?
Well, to be fair, until a couple weeks ago, he thought his daddy was a gold dragonborn too.
yeah, I didn't even know about the Emerald Boy.
I'm just like, welcome to Crayola Sweatshop.
hmm
By the way, I have had that particular little reveal planned since you pitched this character to me.
See,
I
once it started like dropping about his mom and like she had the human form and like and then she could like she was a shapeshifter, she was an actual dragon. Like I've just been sitting here like, what does this mean for my character? My mother's an actual dragon.
I the moment you pitched him, I was like, I've got an idea. And I've just been trying to drop these little hints here and there. And it's all been leading up, and I was like, I'm just going to put his whole DNA on spread.
Yes.
Yeah, he's definitely been working on that reveal for a minute.
I have. Like, because there were hints as far back as friggin' Feywild Festival.
Hmm.
I'm just so glad I finally got to do it. I was like, yes! But, we will
I'm
eventually
interested
work
to
out a
explore that later.
we will work out a way to explore that later. New side quest unlocked.
Side quest.
Uh, I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of fading here.
That's fair. I think that'll probably be a good little place to leave it. Um,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well because um, I think that y'all had yeah that will pretty much do it because the only things on uh, floor 4 are the biogenesis lab, the subterranean containment zone, the containment halls, and the prototype vault. Um, and then floor 5 just has core operations. So we will leave it off on the reveal that you are a dragon. Rah, rah, rah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. I've got ideas and thoughts. I've got a
Yeah.
lot of ideas and thoughts from this little bit. Stuff I want to do.
I've got some ideas too on how to work it. Um, I'm just gonna have to finalize out details and we'll see. Plus, y'all got a new pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. He has been planning that reveal for the longest time.
and
I'm
now that you've
excited.
seen that stat block, I think you know exactly what I just handed you.
Did he
Actually,
hand you a holy hand grenade?
No,
Aw.
do, do, oh no, I'm afraid there's gonna be.
if I told you to think of a creature that was round in shape and uh,
Balls of here isn't
had the
possible.
ability to shoot out bursts of electricity
Yeah, it's what
and
I thought.
and
Yeah.
self destruct,
Shock, shock.
what comes to mind?
Yeah, it's Voltorb.
Congratulations, I just gave you a Voltorb.
I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking an iBot from Fallout.
Yeah, but you know I don't like really do Fallout.
That yeah, but I my mind went completely that direction because of all the tech stuff. I went nowhere near Pokemon.
Shockingly, like you wouldn't believe how many more logs I have on here. Like, you could search for pretty much anything and find it. And also, like, if you'll start actually working with the Genesis Lab, y'all could create all kinds of hybrid creatures or, like, alter yourselves. Or, I know that right now, like, your army is basically just full of monster creatures with the hobgoblins and the lizard folk and everything. So
Yeah.
so now like y'all have access to some very dangerous tech if you're willing to run the dangers.
It's
Cause
tempting.
there's no guarantee the robots will all listen to you. There's no guarantee the animals will all listen to you. Now you can implant memories into both, but the more you meddle, the more risks you run. But it does open up a whole new world of possibilities and a whole new world of horrors.